Thanks to Dave for a very fine reflection. Um, makes me think of a few years ago. Jackie and I were on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, and one of our stops was the uh, city of Tiberias, right on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. And our hotel was right on the waterfront. We got there about late afternoon. We had about an hour before dinner, so went out for a walk along the promenade in front of the hotel, and the water was choppy. It wasn't stormy, but it was choppy. And I've always enjoyed being on the water, but this was not inviting water. I would not have wanted to be out on that water. And our guide told us the next day that the choppiness of the water, these sudden storms, are part of the unique geography of the area, something to do with the mountains and the wind. I didn't understand what he was saying, but it was unique to that area. But it makes the gospel passage that Dave read very much alive. I could picture these guys in the back of the boat. As Dave said, they were professional fishermen, so they knew their boat, they knew the water, they knew how to take care of themselves. But Dave read that they were terrified. I can picture these guys holding onto the gunnels of the boat and their knuckles turning white, trying to just hold on. And the image of Jesus in the back of the boat, as Dave said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I got this covered. And I kind of, Dave focused on the word fear. And I kind of equate that with anxiety, worry, even dread. About 13 years ago, my family was faced with a very serious crisis. And the details aren't important for this talk, but it's enough to say that it was serious enough that it generated just a tidal wave of feelings of anxiety and fear. The dominant thought at the time was, what does the future hold at this point? And along with some patience and some professional counseling, my own response to the fear and the anxiety turned to prayer. My prayer was so often, Jesus, I'm not asking you to take away the storm, but that's okay if you want to. But I'm not asking you to take away from it. I'll do my best to trim the sails and weigh the anchor, and stow the oars, and man the rudder. Help me to do what I know I have to do myself. But stay in the boat. Stay in the boat. Remind me that I'm not alone in this storm. That this would be my prayer as I got out of bed. It'd be my prayer during the day. It'd be my prayer before I turned in at night. I came to draw at that time, and I still do today, particular comfort from the Psalms. When you look at the Psalms, almost every human emotion comes out somewhere in the Psalms. And in these times of anxiety and fear and worry, some of the Psalms in particular spoke very loudly to me. If you don't mind my reading a few lines here, from the Bible, there's a couple of the Psalms in particular. Psalm 6, and this is just some excerpts, it's not the whole thing, but have pity on me, Lord, for I am weak. Heal me, Lord, for my bones are shuddering. Turn back, Lord, rescue my soul. Save me because of your mercy. I am worried. I am wearied with sighing. At night I drench my bed with tears. I soak my couch with weeping. My eyes are dimmed with sorrow. The Lord has heard my weeping, has heard my plea. The Lord will receive my prayer. This is what's so comforting for me in the Psalms, is that they touch on some of the difficulty, the storms that are part of our lives, but there's so often a note of hope and reassurance. Here's one from Psalm 91. These are all familiar to everybody, but from Psalm 91, I kept going back to this one. You who dwell in the shelter of the Most High, who abide in the shade of the Almighty, say to the Lord, my refuge, my fortress, my God in whom I trust. His faithfulness is a protecting shield. You shall not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the plague that ravages at noon. Though 1,000 fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, near you it shall not come. Because you have the Lord as your refuge, and have made the Most High your stronghold. No evil shall befall you, no affliction come near your tent. And another psalm that, and this is the last one, but another psalm that spoke to me very loudly during those times and still does today, one of my favorites, from Psalm 139. Lord, you have probed me and you know me. You know when I sit and when I stand. You understand my thoughts from afar. You sift through my travels and my rest. With all my ways you are familiar. Behind and before you encircle me. You rest your hand upon me. Where can I go from your spirit? From your presence, where can I flee? If I take the wings of dawn and dwell beyond the sea, even there your hand guides me. Your right hand holds me fast. So many of the other Psalms speak to our feelings in these ways. During the midst of this storm, so many other forms of prayer sustain me. Daily Mass was the crown jewel. Celebrating and sharing the Eucharist with my brothers and sisters gave me the strength that I needed at that time. And daily conversation with Jesus, not a prayer with words, just silence. Just, I like to say, shut up and let God talk. Just be quiet. No particular experience expected, no particular insights expected. Just sit and be quiet. A great reunion group at that time, a group of 10 guys, and these guys sustained me too. No judgment, no advice giving, just listening and prayer. And it gave me the strength that I needed to deal with the fear and the anxiety. It's prayer that steadies the helm of our boats, during all the storms that we all face from time to time. It might be simple formula prayer, it might be conversational prayer, certainly the Eucharist. It might be contemplative type prayer, just sitting and listening, but whatever form it takes, prayer is what builds our relationship with the man in the back of the boat. Thank you, Dave. To all my brothers and sisters, de Colores.
Dolores. Thank you, Jim.